Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel, and this week just some general hobby talk as my room still remains in a state of flux as I await delivery of some key furniture so I can get everything organised. Luckily you can't see on camera what I can see, and that is a bit of chaos in this room at the moment, but we'll get there slowly. So I thought I'd just talk a little bit about what's been going on in Hobby World this week. Friday at the club we played another game of Our God is Our Homeland using the English Civil War scenario for Naseby. My brother had some fabulous Naseby 10mm Pendraken English Civil War armies for Royalist and Parliamentarian, and we played that using the rules, which we really enjoyed. The rules are great, very simple, easy to get your head round, but they do have some great friction in there, so I highly recommend you go and have a look at those if you haven't already. They are different, they might not be everybody's cup of tea, as some things are dealt with maybe too simply for some. However, they play well, they play quickly, and they give you a good game. And so our Naseby scenario perhaps didn't run quite to the historical outcome, although it was a very tight game. We had one turn left when we called it at the end of turn 5. It was a 6-turn scenario, but we just ran out of time, and we had this kind of stalemate on the left flank with Royalist Parliamentarian main cavalry forces sort of staring at each other for a lot of the game before the various charges went in, and it all became a little bit messy on that side. Rupert leading the Royalists and Cromwell the Parliamentarians. I think the sheer weight of Parliamentarian cavalry in that scenario really causes the Royalist player, that was myself, a lot of issues and problems. But from the Parliamentarian point of view, they can't always activate everything they want because of their command and control challenges, so it balances itself out. In the centre we had a scenario with push of pike. The Parliamentarians weren't able to get all their reserves up quite quick enough, and the Royalists went onto the offensive, caused some major problems, but by the end of turn 5 a second line had been formed in the centre by the Parliamentarians, which their troops were retreating back on, and so again it looked like a stalemate may ensue there. And on the right we had again some horse and some dragoons moving through the woods on both sides. Nothing really much happened there, so an interesting game. Very difficult to call how the last turn would have worked out. I think probably a draw was a fair result. The Royalists had taken out slightly more units, so we're closer to hitting the Parliamentarian breakpoint, but overall a very tight game, but very enjoyable. So that was our game for this week. In terms of arrivals this week, importantly, excellent service as always from Two Fat Lardies. So this wonderful book, Midgard Heroic Battles, has turned up. Beautiful publication, some lovely pictures, lovely artwork, really nicely done. Not going to show too much of that because I appreciate some people may not have had their copies yet, but looking forward to giving that a good read, along with these lovely markers for the Midgard game. So you've got your spear throw, measuring sticks, charging and firing, but lovely coloured tokens there. And I've also, having rewatched some of the Little Wars TV 1066 campaign videos, as I'm hoping to get to battle and revisit the field myself for the 3rd time in a few weeks. I bought myself a book that they recommended by Kelly Dafries, who was in their video, and Michael Livingston. This is a little guide to the campaigns and the battles. I'm going to take that with me when I go. Although I've been a couple of times, that was quite a long while ago when I had young children with me. and one area I didn't get to look at was the Malfoss, which I want to go and have a good look at and take some pictures of, because for me that's a very interesting part of that battle, what happened afterwards, which of course no one knows fully, but looking at the Malfoss terrain, which of course will have changed over the years, even today from what I've seen on videos, it's a real kind of nightmare scenario terrain, particularly for the Norman horse. So I've read a lot of accounts that the retreat through there led to a lot of Norman casualties, and yet the battle still had gone the way of the Normans. I suppose in part because of the death of Harold Godwinson, but as we know, the Normans then had to campaign, and William had to take on some of the other earls around Britain to finally defeat and wipe out the kind of the Anglo-Saxon institution that was in place at that point. And of course that was all part of the Norman conquest. So I'm really looking forward to getting down there in a couple of weeks. I might well take some footage and pop that in a video for those that are interested. Certainly want to do the trail. Of course, it will depend weather permitting in the UK at the end of November. Can be a little bit unpredictable. We could have sunshine, rain, wind or snow. You never quite know what you're going to get, but we shall see. But hopefully bring you some more on that. But for now, that's everything for this week. I'm going to start reading through my Midgard book and planning a game, if not this week, in a few weeks' time. I very much want to, as I did here to before, get my 1066 troops fighting using these rules. But I've also got some other elements that I want to try with these, particularly in the Norse mythology, Vikings, etc. Greeks possibly as well, a bit of Greek mythology. So some different ideas going around how I might be able to use this game, and looking forward to trying that as well. But for now, that's it for this week. Hope to bring you some more information, some more useful things for you to watch to the channel as soon as I can get my room sorted. Have a great gaming weekend and speak to you all soon.